Welcome back. This is Sharon Warrenholt here today with another episode of Let's Talk Real Estate Investing. And my guest today is Lyndsay Phillips, who's the CEO and founder of Smooth Sailing Business Growth. Now, Lyndsay supports entrepreneurs who want a fast-paced business, but they finally figured out they can't do it all and do it well. She's the host of Sailing to Success podcast and Smooth Sailing Online Support TV. Welcome, Lyndsay.
Oh, thanks for having me, Sharon. There's not many times I do podcasts where it's video, so it's cool to see someone actually face to face instead of just hearing.
Okay, yeah, I get to meet a lot of cool people that way. So, everybody wants to be more productive in their business, and they know they should be using social media, but it can also be a huge time waster. So I want to talk about that today and talk about how to use it strategically, because I know firsthand how powerful it is for building relationships in your business. Facebook has been huge for me, but before we dive into that, why don't you start out by telling everybody a little bit about how you got started?
Yeah, it's, I can't believe how many years ago it's already been, but I was working part-time. I had a couple of jobs. One was with a nonprofit, and I only wanted to work part-time because my kids were really still very, very young, but I was making maybe $11, $14 an hour, and that's Canadian, so it's not very much. And I had my own business in the past. I just, having the small kids, I didn't want to get into it again. And I was just ready. I was like, I know there's more I could do. I know there's potential for earning more money, and I just want to make my own hours, right? And honestly, I was running somebody else's business, and I'm like, not making the money. And then so I knew some people that were working online and did that and worked, the extra hours and loved learning all about online marketing, and just felt like, this is a direction I could go in. And I eventually got a client of mine. I was kind of burning the candles at both ends, doing this and doing the other jobs. And I'm like, something has to give. My husband's, you're on the computer again. So it was burning out. So I just had to make a decision. I'm either all in or I'm not. So I quit the jobs and just went full into working online, and all these doors opened up and networking, and just worked organically, right? Got a couple more clients. So I was doing mainly VA work, so administrative support, social media, you name it, I did it. And eventually I had to scale, right? It was all me, there's only so much of me to go around, and you cap, right, at your earning potential. So I, got team members. I'm like, how can I scale better? There were things that I liked and didn't like, and I then niched down to just content marketing. I was doing really well with my clients on getting them great results, and I just loved it. I loved the creativity of it, and it was easy for me to scale my business and get my team to help me. So as soon as I niched down, everything just kind of blew up. Got tons of new clients, had to change my systems, grew my team. And here I am.
Here you are. Yeah. So we met kind of a convoluted way, because I went to a seminar and I met someone there, and then I asked him a question. He said, oh yeah, let me send you Lyndsay's information. So it is very strange how all this connecting stuff works online now.
I know.
So I'm a big content person. I've had a blog since 2010. My podcast started a few years after that. So I've been about content marketing for a long time. But for people that don't know exactly what content marketing is, why don't you tell them what you think it is?
For sure. And for me, it's all that good stuff in your head, right? Like your knowledge, your experience, your passion for what you do. It's all of that and how you can share it with the world. So whether you're sharing it in written form, blogs, lead magnets, social media, whether you're sharing it through video or audio with podcasts, images, it's all the different ways that you're sharing what you know to serve people, attract new clients, and also pull them through your sales funnel. So that's kind of how I explain it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Now for real estate investors, they're not all like you and me. They don't have blogs and podcasts. So I tell my students all the time, make a video. You go look at an ugly house, or you're in a rehab, or of course, if you're a rehabber, Instagram is a gold mine. So, but it's It just depends on what you want to do, what you're good at, and what you know. But
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to grow a business in today's world without content marketing.
Totally. And honestly, it's a way for people to trust you because they see that you know what you're talking about, you're showing what you're doing, you're sharing your knowledge, and also you're helping building a relationship, right? By doing the video, they see you and people kind of connect better. They read people's faces, I connect with that person, I see their personality. And then you're able to do your call to action or getting them to do, whether it's sign up for an e-list, come to a webinar, book a strategy call. It's your way of kind of attracting them, building that relationship, and then also pulling them through your sales funnel so that you can convert them to a paid customer or whatever your end goal is.
Yeah, so for real estate investors, they might be trying to show up as the person out of this pool of people that contacted them about a house that needs a ton of work. So for them, it's all about branding and positioning and showing up as the expert. And what I've tried to convey to them too is just what you said. You don't have to necessarily write something. You can completely do our business through images. And when it all comes down to the bottom line, I look at it like marketing is how you get leads, but branding is why they choose you.
Nice.
So if you have done a good job with your content marketing, that's going to be your standout sticking point. So when you talk about the sales funnel for people that don't know that term, that's when they actually hire you. That's when they hire you, when you get the one that is you're the one that's chosen. So let's talk about Facebook and Instagram. Everybody goes on there and they say, oh, I did this today and here's 3 cat videos. And I like cat videos the same as everybody else, but using it strategically, those seem to be the 2 main platforms for my business that I'm in.
Perfect.
So let's talk about those. What do you do if you're not a blogger or a podcaster other than make some videos? How can you be strategic and not waste a whole bunch of time?
For sure. And that's a great question. And there's a couple of really big mistakes that a lot of people do when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, social media. One of them is not seeing the value and not seeing the importance in it. And again, being known, extending your circles, building relationships. The second point is not having it branded. So what I mean by that, if you go to someone's Facebook page and it doesn't look like their website, and you can't really tell what the company is, there's a disjunction, right? Like the colors are totally different, the fonts, the imagery, the logo's not on there. So if you go there and you feel confused, they're gonna bail, right? They're not gonna feel that sense of professional, your avatar, your image, your message. So that's really important. And the third one is consistency. And I kind of usually share this story. So for me and a lot of other people out there, if they're looking for an accountant or a yoga instructor or whatever it may be, right? You go to their website for sure. And for me, I always go to their Facebook page. And again, if I can't recognize what they're putting up on their wall there, like their cover and their profile and their message, and it's not matching, I'm like, are they even successful? And I go on their wall, and if they haven't posted for like a couple of weeks and it's really inconsistent, my gut is, are they even in business still? Are they successful? And then I think, if something goes wrong, are they even going to be there for me when I have a problem? So you have these automatic thoughts in your head, right? And you want to make a good impression. You want to look like you know what you're talking about. You want to grab their attention. So that consistency part is really important. And the third part that I always share is that, and for whatever reason, like service business industries like plumbers and HVAC, they're really bad at this. Sorry if anyone's listening that's a plumber. But you go to their page and it's all like, hey, if your furnace is broke, make sure you come check me out. Or hey, if you're sweating to death and your air conditioning isn't working, come call me. If it's like promo, people are just like, oh man, like what's in it for me? Like you just want business. You're not sharing, you're not connecting. And so those are the 3 big things to watch out for.
Yeah, and I tell people with their investing sites, you should strive to be the go-to person for information. In my mind,
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
you want to you want them to choose you, but you want them to ideally have a reason to come back, because in our business, it's a funny thing. So if somebody might be in kind of a bind and need to sell a house, maybe they've inherited it, but they're still in kind of that, well, I don't know, what am I going to do? I'm going to list it. No, I'm not going to do all those repairs and all this. So
Yeah.
there is this period of time where they're still deciding. And if you can offer them information to make that decision easier, or just to show that you are the expert at what you do, just what you said, they know your website's there to try to get you to, that you want to buy their house.
Yeah.
But if they're in foreclosure, but they see a list of, hey, here's how foreclosure works, what's like, well, maybe, this is a place, these are people that could help me, or whatever it is. If they've inherited a house, maybe they want to know how the probate process works, because people don't know these things. And like the furnace thing, even furnace tips, here's the importance of changing your furnace filter.
Exactly.
It could be fancy schmancy.
No.
It just has to be real valuable information.
That's right. And you were saying, even just changing a filter, or like probate, or again, you don't have to write a whole entire blog. It can just be like a quick tip. Hey, did you know about this? And then have a nice graphic that goes with it. Just really quick tips that are super, like, people will like or comment or share. And the other thing is just sharing about your day. Hey, I remodeled the bathroom today, or whatever it may be. Here's the before and after. People want to know what's going on, and they're going to be like, dang, like, that's impressive. That looks great. Or like, you had good feedback on that day about something, or you had an issue on, closing, or, whatever it may be, share. It's almost like little mini case studies, right? They see your success.
Yeah. Well, they want to get to know you, and that makes you human.
Absolutely. I know. And it's amazing, like real estate agents, lawyers, it's almost like they're afraid to get past that veneer. It's like, if you're out for dinner, share the great meal. If you're traveling, I mean, you don't have to show super personal pictures, but like, you with a beautiful background, has anyone else been to Colorado, or whatever it may be? Or like, I had the best coffee of my life this morning, I need more. Like, what? It can be fun. It can be light. I love Minions. I share pictures of my camping trips every now and then. Sharing funny pictures, things that you think are, amusing or happened in your day. People want to connect with you on a human level, right? So don't feel they have to be all like super professional all the time.
Right. I agree completely. People, they want to know about you. They want to know about your life, and they want to know about your business, but they don't do business with businesses. They do business with people.
Exactly.
So that's that whole know, like, and trust thing.
Yeah.
So I know people get super hung up on creating content, and they just make it harder than it is. But a question I get all the time is, how often should I post? Is there a magic number? Is there a magic time?
I wouldn't say there's a magic number. I mean, it kind of depends on your audience. I have some clients that post like, 10 times a day. I have some that post a couple times a day. You have to be consistent. That is the main thing. Even if you can get 1 or 2 up a day and then build from there, at least get into a habit of being consistent. And the other thing is making sure that you're engaging with people, right? If they're commenting or liking, make sure you comment back. Or if you're seeing posts in your own wall, comment on their stuff, like their stuff, share their things, because it does get reciprocated.
Yeah, that's, one thing I always do is I always thank someone who has shared like a blog post of mine.
Yeah.
Because that's important when they take the time out of their day and they share something, no matter really what it is. If they've thought your information was good enough to share, then do them the favor of thanking them, and then always go back and try to share something of theirs, kind of reciprocate.
Absolutely, for sure. And honestly, it's an easy way to get content up on your wall, right? You can, if you read an article that you love, share that article on social. Like, hey, maybe this will be useful to you, because again, it's showing that you're serving, that you're caring about your audience. And then if you're sharing a post of somebody else that you think is valuable, likewise, right? It doesn't always have to be, contrived. And I think people overthink it, right? Like, oh my God, what am I going to post this week? And I've got to like reinvent the wheel, and I have to, be profound at every word I write. It doesn't have to be. You can even just ask questions. Hey, how's your day going? Or has anyone felt this way about that? Or I'm looking at doing X, Y, and Z. Which one have you done, and what has been your experience? People love giving their opinions, right?
Oh yeah, they do.
Helping. Yeah. So you can just like ask a ton of questions, and you'll get a ton of engagement.
So let's talk about a minute about business pages versus personal pages. So people typically go in with a personal page, and then they find out they need a business page, and sometimes it's difficult to get people off of your personal page onto your business page. It's not as easy as what you would think it would be.
I know, it's the funniest thing, but it goes back to the whole thing of like people are connecting with people, not necessarily connecting with companies, albeit you still want a company page to represent your business. And plus there's all the great tabs, right? Like your services, shop here, like it has a ton of more features. They just actually changed Facebook business pages right now to have like a service template. So if you're a service business, they changed it slightly to optimize, if you're a restaurant, like your menu or, your hours of operation and all that good stuff. But you still need both. But a good way to do it is do your post on your page, and then you can share from your page to your profile, because it'll also, people will then hopefully click on your page and then kind of see other stuff that are on the page. Or you can even direct people, hey, I just shared a live Facebook on my page, go check it out, here's the link. So you still you're using your profile as an avenue to build relationships, and you're using it to kind of push people to your business page. Yeah. And then because your business page too, you can have a call to action and a click button right on the banner. And so there's like other like different things you can take advantage of, right? So, but yeah, no, the profile is still where it's at, in regards to connecting with people, but you still want to use both.
Early on, I had a gal, when I was brand new to Facebook, we were kind of interacted that way on Facebook, kind of back and forth. And she said to me, would you be open to setting up a call? I'd love to just talk to you and see how we might benefit each other, which back in 8-10 years ago was something like really odd to happen.
Yeah.
But we did that call, and over the years, just periodically, we've been able to support each other.
Yeah.
One time she said, hey, I know this great mastermind you should get into. They've got an opening. But, it's really strange how it works out. People go, no, I'm not going to waste my time on Facebook. But Facebook is powerful.
Absolutely. I've had someone reach out to me with direct messages, and that's another important tool to use as well. And she's like, hey, I've been following you, blah, blah, blah. I'd love to find out more about your business. Let's, again, just like you said, right, connect and see how we can kind of benefit each other. So she was on my podcast show. She connected with me with a couple of other people that were on my podcast show. And one of them I was super excited to connect with because what they do, I was like, yeah. And then, yeah, like likewise, I've passed her name on to somebody else that I know. So like a direct message and just making that connection and connecting on the phone can go a long way. And we still check in, and there's people that, we just direct message every now and then. Hey, how's it going? I heard, you launched this. That's awesome. How can I help you? Yeah, don't be afraid to send a direct message to someone. You surprise the outcome.
Yeah, people are much more open to it than what you would think.
Absolutely.
With that caveat, don't go and spam, click off 100 people and send them a message about your sunglasses or
or a webinar you have, or
do that stuff. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Okay, one last thing I wanted to kind of ask you about, because people, a lot of investors are having trouble with Instagram. Now, if you're a rehabber and you do beautiful rehabs like a friend of mine does, she absolutely has nailed it, because she does beautiful, beautiful work. So for her, it's easier. But if you are maybe in using a different investing strategy, like wholesaling ugly houses, it becomes a little bit tougher to stand out on Instagram. You've got to get a little bit more creative. So you have any tips for people?
I say don't be afraid to go outside of your niche in regards to posting. Just because you work in, let's say, notes investing, doesn't mean you can't share like, oh my gosh, look at this gorgeous property, or like you still have interests, right? On like, before and after, or different homes, or you were at events, post pictures of you with other people at events. That is huge. Again, obviously sharing content and tips, quotes, inspiration, those kind of quote cards. Yeah, definitely pictures of like you, whatever it is that you're doing, those kinds of things as well. And again, like sharing other people's content, right? If you're friends with a rehabber and they're doing all that beautiful stuff, you can share that on yours, and you're getting interest and people engaged in your page, your business. They'll see your other stuff. So it all works in your favor. It's attracting their attention, right?
I just saw someone that I know posting about their vacation on Instagram, and it started out down the train of, hey, it's really important to unplug and take some time off. But it was really, the way it was done was really smart, because it's, hey, I'm on vacation, but I need to go back to my business, recharge. So it was obviously a well thought out campaign, even though it was vacation pictures.
And even like you raised an excellent point, Sharon. It's like if you're on the beach or whatever, you're like, hey, I'm on the beach. I have so much gratitude for my lifestyle and the freedom that I have, thanks to real estate investing. It's taking that spin of like, I'm taking time off. Like you said, I'm rebooting or recharging from business, but it's like, I'm creating the lifestyle that I want. I have this freedom. I'm at this beautiful resort, wherever it is, because of what I do. And you're just kind of like planting that seed, right? It's not in your face, hey, therefore call me to do X, Y, Z. You're just planting those seeds for sure. And you're leading by example.
Yeah, so that's another idea. I thought the way he did that was just brilliant.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah. So kind of like the thing that hangs people up too is they get on Facebook and they get distracted. So how can you simplify this process? I guess I'm asking you too, do you use any of the scheduling tools like SmarterQ or any of those, or do you not use those? How do you chunk this down personally? I'm always working on my, closing it out, going on there and doing what I need to do and then closing it out. But I was curious to hear your answer about how that works for you.
For sure. I mean, it can be overwhelming, and there has been a lot of changes over the past few months with, Facebook's API and how they work with schedulers. So that's kind of thrown a little bit of a wrench in things over the past few weeks, especially. But having said that, you still want to get in a routine, right? So whether you're writing your memes, your quotes, doing your graphics, whatever that may be, so that you have consistency. You can write it all in 1 week, right? Do the graphics the next week, pre-schedule it all. Yet we use Hootsuite, Social Champ, Buffer, MeetEdgar. I mean, there's tons out there.
Yeah.
And like Buffer and MeetEdgar, for instance, you can have them recycle it. So it'll post again 3 months down the road. So you've got extra posts, right? Which is always great. But having said that, you then have that consistency turning on your page. But you also want to be spontaneous. So again, when you are on vacation or you are at an event or you had something really cool happen that day, just quickly go in there and share it. It's not like it takes long, right? And then I also make sure to schedule a specific time in a day, in a week, like schedule it in your calendar that you're going to go in, check all your notifications, see who's engaging, check out other people's walls, share their stuff, so that you have it scheduled in, not, when you have time, because that will never happen.
Right.
It's like, okay, 20 minutes at 10 o'clock every morning, I'm going to go in, or at the end of the day, whatever it may be, you have to get on that schedule of kind of doing that part of it.
Yeah. So I think you're right about that. I think leaving Facebook open all day is a mistake.
I can't.
Because you get these little, let me just check it for a second. Yeah.
You get sucked in.
Yeah, you do, and I'm big on batching content. I wish I could tell you I was perfect because I'm not, but
Oh, some days, yeah.
I do work on that, and yeah, didn't use Meet Edgar, I used Smarter Q, but yeah, that whole Facebook thing was a real bummer because that
Yes.
was so helpful.
I know. And now you have to go in, and because you can't post to a profile, you have to go to your page and share from your page to your profile, which
Yeah.
I mean is a good move anyways, but it is an
Yeah.
extra step that makes it
It's
more
an extra
manual.
step. Yeah. I know. So I had to go in there and change mine too. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I've kind of forgotten about it. Well, Lyndsay, this has been a great show. Do you have any final tips for people I know there's so many people out there that are just overwhelmed by this whole content machine.
For me, it's like the thing that helped me, and I always say it to my clients to do, is outsourcing the nitty gritty. You know what I mean? Like, think about what your time is worth. Think about how you want to move your business forward and where you should be spending your time. If you're having a hard time being consistent with social media, blogs, podcasts, whatever that may be, you know, you can definitely go to smoothbusinessgrowth.com. That's what we do. But whoever you have helping you, have them do that part, take it off your plate, and then you can go in once a day, do your own personal engagement and stuff like that. But at least you're able to focus on your revenue generating tasks where you should be spending your time.
And you brought it up. That's where you should be spending your time, on revenue generating activity.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, guys, this has been a great show. And Lyndsay, what's the best way for folks to get in touch with you?
The best spot is smoothbusinessgrowth.com. And actually, there's a really great social media roadmap right on the homepage there that they can snag for free that will help them get started and be more consistent and get out of overwhelm.
Okay. And I'll put that link here in the show notes. Thanks again, Lyndsay. And folks, I'll be back next week with another episode of Let's Talk Real Estate Investing. Bye.
See ya.